Hi crafters, this is Crafty Sabby, and I'm here today to share this journal that I've just completed. This time around I will be gifting this to a friend of mine who I met here on YouTube, and her name is Jill. Hi Jill. Jill's been kind enough to send me several packages in the mail of vintage goodies and finds and things that she's accumulated, and sent them to me to share. And I've used some of those things in some of my projects already. So I just want to say thank you to her for her kindness, and I will be sending her this journal and some other things really soon. So I made this journal out of just a plain white envelope. And then I vintaged it up. I used my, let's see, my walnut, no, I don't think it was walnut, vintage photo. It could have been even both together. I don't even remember now. But these are distress spray stain. And so I rub it on there, and then I Mod Podged the whole thing to give it that sort of leather look. And I really like the way that it came out. I used a lot of lace, and I don't know what you call this stitch, but this is stitched on my sewing machine that I have, and I thought it looked really neat. I used a picture that I got off of free downloadable online somewhere, layered it on some paper. I got some little rosebuds here in some vintage colors. It says Friends, and there's like a little, just little pieces of stuffing. This little thread, it's not really thread, is this stuff here. Has a little bit of a shine to it, and it's nice and thin, so I just I put some under the picture, peeping out a little bit. And some photo corners, metal photo corners there, and just some flowers with a pearl. And then the spine is, I did a little bit of layering there with some really pretty trims. And that's the back. So really, really pleased with the way it came out. And then we'll go inside. So I just used a little bit of lace to tie it closed with. And then on the ends I have these little circles. And actually what it is some vintage lace, that, oh, I don't know what you call it, trim that I found. And then I just cut them and use them on the ends of my strings here. So I put some lace on there, and I tied some bows on the corners. So then on the first page I have a altered paper clip. I've been getting questions about these. All it is just a regular paper clip that you find, and I use my scraps of lace, and then I'll either attach like a flat back pearls or anything that you have, and make sure not to glue the whole thing down so that you're able to slide it over some paper. So pretty simple. This is an envelope pre-made. This one was pre-made that I got at Michael's. And you flip it open, and then inside there is the inside of a guest check. The paper clip. Somehow I don't think I'll get that back in. Yay. And this is a place that Jill can attach some photos. I left the top open for a little tuck. I used some washi tape here, and I just attached some more lace and another flower on the corner. Just there. I coffee stained all of the pages. This is a little pocket that I made just with a little card. There's some washi tape on there. I used a Martha Stewart punch there to edge that. And for my papers, what I did was, well, you know what, I'm not even going to bother showing, but what I did this time was I went through a bunch of my paper pads, and I started pulling pages out that I thought would go well in my journals. And so that's what I did. So I took papers from a whole bunch of places, and then some of these I just got as single sheets from Michaels. They were having a sale for $1 or something, and I rarely do that, but I went through and found some papers that I liked, and I thought they kind of worked. So this was one loose sheets that I got at Michaels, and then I had this on a paper pad somewhere, which it went well, and there's a doily there. So, and then on the back, I added some lines for journaling. There's some, I believe that's Tim Holtz washi tape. And then here I made a pocket with, or an envelope actually, with some thin paper that I got this paper pad some time ago. I believe it was on sale at the time, but it's DCWV, and it's called Vintage Essentials. I can't talk. And it's just really pretty vintage papers, but although I can't show you, you can kind of hear, like, it is super thin. Super, super thin, and I just love it. It's great for making envelopes and that sort of thing. So I used that in here throughout. So I used my envelope punch board and I made that. There's a postcard there from some paper pad that I had. Some more of that thin paper. This is also some paper from a paper pad that I had. I love the blue. There's a little bit of color in here, but for the most part it's pretty neutral. Okay, I made a little pocket down here with some vintage lace. And then this is like a little bag, that I made out of some iron-on transparencies that I have. This is all vintage, and I like it because it says made in Canada. Jill also is from Canada but is now in the UK. And there's one of my tags that has one of those iron-on transfers. I talked about those a little bit in my last video. And on here is, I was at a I was at a thrift shop, and I found a really big doily. And I was able to cut that doily up, as much as it pained me, but I did it. And I managed to get all of these little circle doilies out of it. So all of those came from that one large, like a table runner. And then like the centers were all held together with these. So I was able to use those too. So I used every bit of it, and I was really pleased about that. Hate to waste after somebody worked so hard. And so I just attached those to the tag, and I thought they came out really sweet. So that just goes in there. And then this is just some music paper with a pocket, and I attached some lace to it. That's just another place for journaling. This is just some paper that I had from a paper pad. I put some washi on the bottom. And then this trim here was also from a doily, this one. And this edging was all around it, so I cut it so I could use it more as a trim. and I love it. A little bit, I don't know, it's vintage, so it's nice. And then on the back of it is some journaling, place for journaling. There's a, what do you call it? A doily there, paper, and then little tags. These are some pages I attached so that Jill could journal. And these came from my local dollar store. They're actually pads of paper. You get quite a bit. And I love the color and the patterns, and I thought they would be really nice to add some different element to some journals. So I used that. There's a little pocket. It's another paper clip that I made. Just a little card. Love these paper clips from Michaels. Oh my gosh. They were reduced down to 50 cents because they were in the $1.50 bin, but I managed to get some for 50 cents and I just bought a whole bunch. Okay, this is another envelope that I made, and there's a little card in there, and I left it opened behind here so that like a little tuck place, and I also added lines for journaling. And these come from Michaels. They're pre-made little pockets, and then I attached one of those little doily pieces there. And that fits in there. And there's a little bit of a map here on the blue again. I couldn't resist. And then there's some ledger paper that I coffee stained. So there's a little pocket on the side. So just quickly about this ledger paper. I went to my local Staples. You could go to probably any office supply store. And I was looking for ledger paper. And, okay, it's not vintage, but I can make it look that way. I found these books at Staples, and I really like them. They're called Analysis Pad. And you could get 2 columns, I think 3 or 4 columns, and I guess what they're talking about is, you know, some of them had more columns in them. But I like these ones because I thought it would allow for a good place to journal. So I got those, and each one of those was $7.99, and I'm not sure how many sheets. It doesn't say, but I mean there's quite a lot in there. And then I was also able to find some of these. I got a big huge block of them. Time cards, and these ones are super long. There's 250 in here, and that cost me $16.99. So they are a little long, but once I got done dyeing them, I found a way, and I'll show you as we get further into the journal how I use them. I just folded them so that I made them fit. So, and I really love them, so I hope to do more with those. And then there's the inside of the signature. Again, there I added that vintage trim dots on there. Little piece of the map that shows Canada. I used a little bit of washi, place for journaling, just some horrible stamping, me and my stamping. And there's another little altered paper clip. These are from AliExpress. The back has some Tim Holtz washi. There's a little glassine bag there. I made a little pocket, added some lace. This is from one of my paper collections that I used. So I got these glassine bags from, oh my goodness, where did I order these from? I think Simon Says Stamp maybe, or I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think it was Simon Says Stamp. Anyhow, are these not the tiniest little, I mean, that's how small it is, fits in my palm. Tiniest little glassine bags. And then this is like the next size up. So gotta find a way. I'm gonna make something like this and then we'll do a tutorial. We'll see what happens, okay? And let's keep going here. There's a little envelope. I got these at AliExpress. There's another little paper clip. These are adorable. You can seal them shut or you can leave them open. I just love them. Eiffel, Leaning Tower of Pisa. And they're so cute. So I put that there. There's some postal washi. That's just another pocket with a card. Okay, so there's one of the time cards, and it. So what I did was I just folded it up on itself and made a pocket out of it. Excuse me. And I added some lace and some pom-pom trim, and there's some lace up here. And this one is actually fixed to the page, and then some of the ledger paper goes there. There's some more washi. Sorry, that's my dog running back and forth. Some room for journaling. There's another little pocket tuck there. On this page, I had a paper pad that had a bunch of this burlap stuff, and I cut a bunch of these out. And I used this one, You Are Magical, and I made a pocket out of it. And I just added some trim. And then I just used some more of that paper pad that I got and just folded them up and added them to the pocket for journaling. On the reverse side of that pocket is another envelope that I made, altered paper clip, and another card from AliExpress. So that goes there. Some more room for journaling. This is another pocket with some trim and lace. Little card. And this has some more of that trim on it. It's just a little tiny flip there. Another envelope that you can undo that. And then a little card for adding a photo. Some more room for journaling. Just a few sheets of that paper. And then on this page, I added a tag with my, I used those iron transfers on here in Mod Podge and a piece of that doily. And it fits right into the back of that. And then this is a, I believe, well, you open it up. That way, it's a purchase order form that I coffee dyed. It just all folds back. This is a little pocket with some more ledger paper. Just some tickets there. Another paper clip. Some music paper. There's another time card. I just folded it again with some lace trim. Added some of these little cards for journaling. So there's one of the doilies. I just attached it right to the page. Just put some little tags on it, just for some added interest. Some lines for journaling. There's some more washi. There's the center of that signature. There's a little flip up there. There's a little corner tuck and another tag. This is another bag that I made out of iron transfer paper. I just put some lace on it. There's another tag there. Just fits there. Place for writing. Just another little tuck there. This is a pocket that I made out of a postcard. And paper clip, some playing cards, and an envelope that I made with some extra paper inside. That just goes there. Another place to add a photo, some tags with some vintage lace. This was something Jill had sent me. I love that, the colors. It's a vintage postcard. So pretty. There's just an envelope in there. And that's the back. And that just says to Jill from Sabrina. Some trim and the bows again. That's the back. So I'm sorry, that was rather long, but thanks for sticking with me. So I will be sending this off with some goodies to Jill very shortly, and I'm so glad that you guys stopped by. Please let me know what you think. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope you guys are all doing well, and we'll be back soon. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.